This is a another Quad FM4 I'm attempting to repair. I bought it as a spares repair project. Clearly it's not working. Got no control over tuning. It's you've got no control over the front panel at all. And I've just been inside and checking a few bits and pieces. The power supply is okay. This is the power supply. It's all linear regulator. 12 volt regulator here, just a plus or minus 22 volt supply, and it's got a 3 volt AC supply for fluorescent display. First thing I've checked is the in the circuit diagram here. You can see this is the that's the tuning potentiometer, which is the tuning control, and that feeds a negative volt. We've got a low reference and a high voltage reference. And those two reference points are on the either side of the pot here. As you can see, is the pot. There's one 7.6 volts, and the other 3.8 volts. And then the wire is the blue wire there, and that blue wire, as you can see, feeds through a decoupling capacitor here to the pin 10 of IC5. Now IC5 is this chip here. Now the first sort of fundamental checks I've done is I can see clearly that that voltage is getting to pin 5, pin 10 of IC5. So if I go to pin 10 of IC5, so it's a 7, 8, 9, 10. There's the 7.17. You can see that. Let me just change the light a bit better. 7.17 volts. I'm going to adjust the tuning. Okay, now that's dropped to 7. Let's increase this. Oh, sorry, dropped to 7.64 volts. Okay, so that's obviously the voltage is getting to that chip. Now I would expect, if I look at pin 9, which is the non-inverting of the error amplifier. Let's have a look. So pin 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I've got 8.45 volts there. Now, I'd expect either pin 10 to have a higher voltage or pin 9 to have a lower voltage, because I never get to a point where the point of pin 8 is going to change. So it looks like, I think this is like a unity gain amplifier or buffer, but it's certainly the first full point here seems to be that whatever I do to pin 10 is not affecting pin 8, and therefore affecting the rest of the circuit. So first of all, I need to check the reference H to make sure that voltage is actually high enough. But what I have done, and I've fed an increased voltage into the wiper pin here. I've fed in a DC supply up to about 10 volts, and even at that point, when pin 10 is higher than 9, pin 8's voltage never changes. So I'm starting to wonder if either this chip's faulty, or maybe this other, it links to another chip here. Not entirely sure what this is. IC6, which is a 4066. So I've got a choice. I think what I'm going to do is in the next video, I'm going to remove this chip probably, and then see if that voltage is still there on pin 8. If it is, that means that the voltage is bleeding back to this chip here. I'm not entirely sure this is right, but I think the first thing to do is find out why this state isn't changing. I expect this voltage to go up and down with the tuning control. But it's not, and I think that's possibly why the tuning circuitry isn't working. So I think I need to find out what this chip is, and also find out what this chip is here. IC6 is a 4066. You can quickly see a 4066 in here. Let's have a look. What have we got? So this is the chip I'm working on. There's a 4066, so it's probably that one there. So it might be worth checking that as well, just to see. She's quite. No, it's not warm. It's my imagination. So it might be worth checking that that chip as well, Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this to work, but it might be worth going through the sort of the early stages. If anyone else has got any ideas of how this works, this Quad FM4's front-end tuning works, give me a shout. They're also prone to the this is the battery backup, and as you see, this one's leaked quite badly at some point. And actually, though it doesn't actually damage the radio, it does take all the solder resist off the board, you know, the protective layer of the board. And it's quite important to clean all this crap out when you do. And I just give it a wipe over with some isopropyl to get all the loose parts out, and basically to stop any more electrolyte corroding the board. But you can see the way it's just flaking off. So it's worth getting all that cleaned out, which I'll probably do if I get anywhere with this radio. I'll clean all that out and sort that out. But yeah, I think we'll see how we go with this, and then we'll move on if we find anything else.